Wonder what that was. What was ah? Last minute advice coming at you from Chicago. Last minute fantasy football advice. Who do I start? Should I pick this dude up? What's going to happen in this particular game? You want to know? Here you are. Fantasy football. Complete with a talent who should I start calculator. Who could ask for anything more? This is half PPR. It's even more David Montgomery. That's really the only conundrum I have, which isn't even a conundrum. Spoobster, what's up, man? About 2 weeks away from Diablo 4 Season 10, buddy. Are you going to stream? Because I'll watch it if you're going to stream it. Reginald, period. Josh Mullins, happy Sunday morning. Welcome to NFL Fantasy Football. Yeah, Borderlands 4, man. Can't wait till that comes out. Right on, buddy. I'm really looking forward to Borderlands 4 too. Are you gonna is it new season on a Thursday? I thought it was it said I looked it up yesterday and it said 17 days until the new season starts. So I'm assuming that's a Tuesday. Pretty sure that's a Tuesday. Usually the seasons start on Tuesdays. But you might be right, I don't know. Season 4 D10 D or season 10, when does it start? Tuesday. You'll be on launch with Paris streaming. Right on, dude. Yeah, it's a Tuesday. So, are you going to stream Borderlands 4? That's something I would love to play with you. Well, I have. In fact, I watched Parrot Gaming's video on Season 10, and he told me the things that I wanted to hear the least, which is Rogue sucks in Season 10. Rogue is garbage. It's ass. It's not going to be very good in Season 10 at all. If your PC can handle streaming it. Did I see the stat minimum on Steam for Borderlands 4? No, let's take a look. Borderlands 4. Let's see what the requirements are for it. It's going to be a great game. Where are the requirements? Here we go. 64-bit processor. Wow. High. It requires a lot of recommended processing is high. It's literally your PC. Wow. Yeah, the minimum system requirements are pretty high. 64-bit processor, 8 CPU cores, 8 gigabytes of VRAM for graphics, SSD storage required. You got to put this on. You cannot put this on your. You have to put it on an SSD drive. That's nuts, dude. Most people, I mean, I don't know how many people have an SSD. Does everyone that has a gaming computer have an SSD drive? That's pretty crazy. Hey, Modest. Good morning, bud. We're just looking at a couple things. We're looking at fantasy football. We're looking at Borderlands 4 coming out. Majority have it. I have it. I have one of each. But it requires a lot of space, dude. 100 gigabytes of space on your SSD. That's like 1/10 of my SSD. Your laptop has a 2 terabyte SSD. It must be newer. Most pre-builds come with a 500 ms. Yeah, that's nuts, dude. Mine is a 1 terabyte SSD and a 2 terabyte regular drive, analog drive. But look at the video card requirements too. At least a 3080. I have a 3080 Ti. No, no, I take it back. At least a 2070. That's what my computer came with. You did get yours in 2017 when the 2070 was new. I got mine. I got a 2070 Super in mine, and I upgraded it to a 3080 Ti. You took out the 1 terabyte and put two terabytes in, so you have 4 terabytes. Right on, Modest. That's a lot of space. It's a lot of gaming space. I just am surprised that they. Yeah, what the hell are you hiding? Well, if it makes you feel any better, I have 128 gigabytes of RAM on my computer, which is needed by nobody. One is dedicated for games, right on, Modest. That's how it should be. I've been thinking about upgrading my computer only because, like, every year my wife needs to have her business spend some money. And I was thinking about maybe getting a computer for that, but I don't want to. It's a big hassle to move computers. I'm not going to do it until I absolutely have to. You can get a really good one for like 1200. Really? Where? Like a laptop? Or you're talking about a desktop? I usually like to get custom built ones anyway because I want to pick multiple websites and no desktops. Right on. Um, I used Zydax computers to build my last computer. Here they are, Zydax, Zidax.com. So this is the company that built my computer last time I got one, and I had them build me a desktop, but my next computer I might have a laptop instead of a desktop. You've done just about everything from pre-built to custom. I like custom builds because I like to say, okay, I want this particular processor, I want this particular video card, I want this particular amount of RAM, So I tend to go customs. But I wonder, do they do custom laptops or do they all do all? I wonder if they do custom laptops on Zydax. I think they only do products, lappies. Can you custom build a lappy? That's the question. Yes, you can. You're definitely getting Ryzen. Why AMD? Why AMD versus Intel? Curious. 16, 16, 17.3, 18-inch gaming laptop. Starts at 3171. You don't like Intel processors? I've never ever had one problem with an Intel processor. Never ever ever. Ever 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 ever. Starts at 3171. Let's see what that comes with. Intel's really good for single core performance, whereas AMD excel in multi-core tasks. Okay, that's a good explanation. And gaming requires multi-core stuff. AMD is better for rendering and data processing. Ah, would you not also go with their video cards then? Is there some advantage to having an AMD card along with your AMD processor, or does it matter? It doesn't matter. Okay. I want 64 gigabytes of memory in my computer. Solid state drive. Um, Wonder what the difference between these solid state drives is. Probably speed. That's a very expensive 4 terabyte drive compared. It's like double the price of the other one. Very popular with people to run AMD with NVIDIA. Am I done with D4 this season? Pretty much modest. I've done the season journey. Um, the only thing I'm doing is I'm logging in occasionally and completing whispers because it's easy and fun to do and quick. So that I've been doing. But for the most part, I'm done with the season. Yeah. I made a druid, took it to pit 100. I made a rogue, took it to pit 95. I made a necromancer, took it to pit 90. It was a good season. I did everything I wanted to do. I had planned to talk fantasy football this morning, but nobody that's on is playing fantasy football. Here's my fantasy football team for what it's worth, for those who might care. What about you, Modest? Are you done with D4 this season, or are you still playing? You've gotten a pit 25, right on. Hey, man, it's whatever you want to do. Some people aren't into pushing the pits. I just do my goal every season is to, well, lately my goal in the season is to come within 10 pit levels of the world leaders. So if the world leader at Rogue has a pit 105, I want to do at least a pit 95. That's kind of how I've been looking at my season. I don't know how to get the items for the rings and amulet. Oh, what's your character, Modest? What are you playing? What class are you playing? If you're playing rogue or druid, I might be able rogue and a sorcerer. Right on. So for rogue, which build are you playing rogue? Are you playing twisting blades? Are you playing death trap? What are you playing? I can probably help you. It just depends what you want to do. Um, which rogue are you playing? Do you have a build that you're using? Looks like I'm going to win this week, which is good. Huh. Just the max roll build, but I hate dash, so I have poison and shadow imbuement. That's usually not the way to go. You usually don't want to do two separate kinds of imbuements. You usually just want one. Um, which max roll build are you following? Because there's a couple of different ones you could be following. You could be following the Death Trap build. You could be following the Twisting Blades build. You could be following Dance of Knives. I don't know which rogue build you're trying to play. Just the general Dance of Knives. Okay. So first off, that's why you're not going higher in the pits. Dance of Knives is largely used for leveling only. It's not really an end game build per se. So once you get to 60 with Dance of Knives, you want to switch to something else. Generally speaking, this season, the very best build in the game is Twisting Blades for rogues. So I would highly recommend going to a Twisting Blades build, like this Twisting Wrath build that was built by Paragaming. I've been using this all season with great success. The necklace is a regular necklace that you would get from, it's a regular brown necklace, but you want it with ranks of malice and ranks of frigid finesse on it, along with dexterity. And then your rings are Ring of Starless Skies and Accelerating Aspect, which are one is a mythic ring and the other one is a regular ring. You just got to T1. Yeah, so I would switch it up, dude. I would get into a Twisting Blades build, and there's one on Max Roll too. I just like this one because it's Para Gaming's build, and I like to follow Para for a couple of reasons. I know he plays all season. I know he tests his builds. I know he updates his builds. So, and plus he's cool and he's funny. So, yeah, I would switch to something else, modest. I would switch to a an end game rogue build that'll get you a little further along in the pits. You'll immediately be like, "Holy crap, this is way better." I've only gotten like 25 since the game came out. Wow. I get about that many a season. We have to go hunting together. We have to go mythic hunting. A hunting we will go, a hunting we will go. We'll have to go hunting for mythics for you. Because there's no reason that you should be getting that few mythics. We have to get you in there and do a steady diet of Belial until you get a few mythics that you need. All right, so let me put this back. And then fantasy football. I ran with Biker for 3 lives and got 2 in 6 hours total. Holy shit. So you're friends with Made Biker? He seems like a good streamer. I don't really know him, but I've heard of him. I've seen him stream Diablo before, so he seems like a good dude. All right, so there were some moves made in this league already. He's upset with Blizzard. Why's that? What's his beef with Blizzard? The fact that they trashed rogues and made them useless in season 10? Because that's what I'm upset with Blizzard for. They wrecked rogues. They nerfed Twisting Blade rogues even though it wasn't dominant. Still were like, this is too much. I don't get it. I just don't understand it. And it makes me mad at Blizzard. I'm kind of upset with Blizzard too right now. Because I'm not looking forward to Season 10 because Rogue is ass in Season 10. And they shouldn't have done that to Rogues. Why do they got to do Rogues dirty every season? Ever since Season 3, when they first nerfed Twisting Blades, it's been downhill for Rogues. They wanted him to be a streamer 2 seasons ago and had so many things they didn't want him to do. Oh. Like what? Like show the game? Like be honest about the game? Here's my draft recap. So it's personal in nature. It's not like a thing that he's upset with the game, it's a thing that he's upset with. He dropped being part of the group and deleted the game. Wow. Wow. Surprising. Very surprising because Cliptus is a sponsored Diablo talent streamer. He couldn't be true to what he thought. Right on. Yeah, you can't talk shit about the game if they sponsor you. There's a certain level of decorum you have to keep up if you want to be a sponsored party. They didn't want him telling people about how he felt. Yeah, about the game. See, that's why Cliptus works for them because Cliptus loves the game so much he can't find too much fault with it. He doesn't really look for finding fault with the game. He looks for how can I have fun with this. That's how Cliptus approaches Diablo 4. So Cliptus is the perfect streamer for them because he never has anything bad to say, really. Or I shouldn't say that. He's critical, but he's critical in a very positive way. And he looks at the game from a very positive perspective. Let's put it that way. He loves the game. He loves that he enjoys it. A lot of the things that people find fault with about the game, he doesn't get bothered by. He doesn't let it bother him. So there's some things about Cliptus uniquely qualify him for being a really good partner. That's funny because isn't Rax Antarax sponsored by Blizzard or no? Maybe not. Maybe he's not a partner. But he lets loose, man. He doesn't give a shit. He'll tell you exactly what he thinks about the game. Uh, Cliptus builds barbs and pushes barbs. Most people play rogues to tinker, so we don't have. Yeah, we don't have. Well, we have. There's people that do rogues specifically. Cliptus uses barbs and pushes barbs. Most people play rogues to tinker, so we don't have a voice on the builds. You're right about that. There's no real. I mean, it would have been Wudijo, but he's not a partner. Yeah, you're right about that. He does push and build and play barbs mostly. He's the barb man. Yeah, Rogue is frustrating for especially for season 10. They nerfed the very best build. I gotta wonder maybe Death Trap is the best build again for Rogue. I don't know. Rax is very vocal about D4. Yes, I think he's given up on the game. I saw him not playing at the beginning of season 9, and I was like, I wonder if he's giving up on the game because it was the beginning of season 9 and he was playing something else, and he was going off about how he wasn't happy about D4. All right, man. I think I'm gonna go get ready for football. It really started with season 8. What did they do in season? Well, I know what they did in season 8. Season 8 was the first season where they started to just kind of seasonal powers were just kind of regurgitated from season 7. The seasonal powers just became an afterthought. Seasons just became an afterthought. And they try to hype up these little things that they do, which are just reskins of the previous season's seasonal powers. They just reskin them. And that's frustrating because we just paid a lot of money for a DLC upgrade, and I want to see like more put into the game than that. They just had everybody spend another $60 on DLC. More bosses are needed, more end game content is needed. They need to think up some new stuff for the end of the game. The playing group is dropping. I've noticed that too. But it's like that at the end of seasons, though, too modest. Like people come in the beginning of the season like it's huge, and then like 3 weeks later, a lot of people drop off because they finish the season journey really fast. More in Eternal. Wow, Eternal's pretty lame. I won't play Eternal. You don't have any of the seasonal powers in Eternal. They really need to add to the Eternal. Well, I don't know that. I mean, are a lot of people playing the Eternal mode? I think most people play seasonal. Eternal's kind of like it's just there. I didn't know a lot of people played Eternal. Are you playing Eternal? I would play Hardcore, but I don't think I'd play Eternal because you just lose all the seasonal benefits. You did for 2 days this season. Right on. I don't see the point because it's the base game. It doesn't have any of the special stuff in it. That's the only reason I eschew Eternal. You had better luck there with finding mythics or just in general. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha, man. Well, I'm gonna cruise. I'm gonna go get ready for the day. We got fantasy football and real life football happening in a half an hour, and it should be cool, man. It's the first day of opening football NFL season, the real first day of games. Um, Good gaming to you all. Modest, thanks for hanging out, man. Great seeing you. Yeah, you too, buddy. Enjoy your gaming, and I'll see you soon.